Hello and welcome to another video from eDub Services. My name is Kit Lacey, founder and director here at eDub HQ in the glorious north of England, the UK. So we're here to look at specifically some trade options for our conversion kits. We've been doing conversions for many years now, and the next evolution of eDub is incredibly exciting. So without much further ado, why don't we run inside and have a look at what we can offer for trade. I want to talk to you today about something that's quite new and fresh to both eDub, but also the entire retrofit industry. We're looking at moving from where we've got our vehicle conversions that we've been doing for 10 years now, where we're converting classic vehicles to 100% electric power, making those advancements that we've done, all the years of research and development, into something that can be repeatably applied to a more trade-based application. So maybe you're watching this video and maybe yourself, you're passionate about classic cars and you recognize that the future of those classic cars is to electrify them. Maybe you've got a garage already, or maybe you're thinking about an investment opportunity where having a classic car restoration garage for the vehicles themselves can go hand in hand with electric conversions. And that's where eDub is going to step in to help you with that vision. We've been designing and building electric conversion kits for many years now, starting in 2013. And what that's meant is that we've already done so much of the research and development into what it takes to build not just a reliable electric conversion kit, but something that's high-powered, safe, and also conforms to all of the regulations that are currently in place by the IVA and the DVLA as well. So that means if you're looking at investing in something like this new industry that we're a part of, then we can step up and we can be that assistant in that location. So by providing you with custom kits, we can actually give you something that's really unique and that solves a lot of your problems that I think some of your customers might be facing as well. So in this video, we're going to look in detail at some of those fabrication options. We're going to tell you a load of the secrets behind why we've made some of those decisions. And we're also going to show you the vehicles that we've got in the workshop and the vehicles that we've done in the past that prove to you that we actually do know what we're talking about. So thanks so much for watching, and let's have a look at what's coming up. So there are broadly two areas towards electrification of a classic vehicle. One is the batteries and the wiring and the high voltage that requires a load of technical abilities and sometimes a little bit of coding. But there's also the metalwork fabrication, kind of the other end of the scale, of creating something that is really kind of big and bulky, but that does an incredibly specific job. Now, in front of me, I have two of our offerings to our trade markets, and it's packages that we use in-house to carry out our conversions here at eDub HQ. One of those on the floor is for our T2 VW camper vans, and the one up here on the bench is for our Porsche 911s. And I want to talk to you about these in detail. So we're going to start with this one, which is our Porsche 911 conversion kit. Now, this isn't all of it. Step one. There's another section of this that's going in the front of the vehicle, so this is only 16 of the 24 modules required. The other box goes in the front and fits into where the petrol tank used to be and bolts onto where the petrol tank used to connect to. So again, we're not creating any extra holes in the front to mount that in. Similarly in the back. So what you've got here is you've got to imagine that the boot of the Porsche is in that direction. So originally you would open up the Porsche engine bay and you'll be presented with a giant muscular engine, and instead you're presented with this box. The very front of it here is going to be connected onto where the original engine was mounted to, and the back section here again is mounted onto the base. And there's a couple of big spacers that connect it really specifically, so it's not colliding or clashing with any of the brake lines or any of the suspension arms that's working through those sections as well. Now the battery box itself is again really precisionally engineered to, one, be able to be assembled accurately, so it's in two pieces, a bottom clamshell and a top clamshell. The batteries will be assembled inside that box, and then what we have is a plate of metal that has all of the internal control components on there, things like your battery management system and your high voltage contactors and fuses. All of those are on that board through an access panel hatch at the front. This particular conversion is going to be quite clever, so we're actually going to install the CCS mounting socket into this smaller flap towards you, and that's going to be accessible through the actual grille on the original engine bay. So obviously that grille isn't needed anymore. You don't need a ton of cooling in that space because it's not overheating like the original engine used to do. So instead we're using that as a really straightforward access point for the CCS socket, which is too big to fit where the petrol can needs to be. So we're doing that here in the front. All of that is structural, so again there's some structural parts inside there that are making sure that where the batteries are mounting to is a strong part of this subframe system. And then it curves over the back here and, as I said, connects onto the side. And then there are extra mounting points on the sides for us to mount things like our DC-DC, which is effectively your alternator to take your high-powered battery down to your 12-volt battery. All of this has been designed with millimetre precision around a large Tesla drive unit. Now that's compatible with both the kind of regular large Tesla drive units, but also the performance models as well. And I mean millimetre precision, so this kind of archway here is so close to the drive unit, but it's done that way intentionally to bring that drive unit as high up inside the vehicle as possible, maybe even higher than the original engine was, to make sure that you've got really good clearance underneath the vehicle. So the Porsche naturally sits quite low, and because you are altering the weight very slightly, you want to make sure that you're not affecting some of the core Porsche parts like your suspension and your shock absorbers as well. And we do our best to minimise any impact on those parts of the classic car. What you've got down on the floor here is our camper van kit. Now this is compatible with Type 2 camper vans, and those go right the way from 1967 up to 79. It's more compatible with the crossover and the late bay camper vans, so it's more compatible with things from like 1971 up to 79, but we have got some adapters to work on the early bay versions as well. What we've found is predominantly most people have crossovers or late bays on average, so those are the ones that we've worked on so far. But again, very similarly to the Porsche system. And for those in the know, obviously this is all German air-cooled technology. So yes, back in the day, Porsche and VW shared quite a lot. And so that's meant it's been quite so straightforward for us as a company to transition between VW and Porsche in terms of what we manufacture. Again, very similarly, you've got two mounting points on the back corners that go onto the chassis rails, and you've got one single mounting point at the front that goes onto where the gearbox used to mount as well. This particular system, again, is a little bit more, there's a bit more space in the back of a VW compared to a Porsche. So the box is, as you can see, a bit more cuboid down in this section. It's also got a section where all the batteries, as we said, are inside the vehicle, inside the box. And they're all taken care of with, again, similar to the Porsche board where all your battery management system and your other systems are all connected as well. This is all raised up underneath the vehicle, as this one is as well. So the way it's manufactured is that it would be assembled onto, say, a pallet, and it would be raised up underneath the vehicle and bolted onto the right sections. Then we also have on this section, this one actually has the space to mount the charger on the rear here as well as the DC-DC converter, and a handful of all of the cooling systems too. So again, it's all been sophisticately worked out so that you've got your radiators and your coolant pumps, again, all worked out in that same system. So it's a really, really smart system. And we've done this one, we've done the Porsche a few times, but we've done a VW conversion endless amount of times. I couldn't tell you how many times we've had these boxes in and out of campers. We know what it catches on, we know what it doesn't catch on. These have been built with such precision that they work really, really brilliantly. So if you're looking at doing conversions on either of these two models, also another model that we don't have available to show you is our morrisminor, the E20 kit, which I'm sure I'll be able to do a clever way of putting some video overlays on this section of the video that will show you what the E20 looks like. But all of these are pretty much available off the shelf, so if you need those available in bulk to any level, then get in touch and we can take care of that for you. In-house here at eDub, we have a couple of different ways of dealing with fabrication. Most of this is, well, all of it is done on CAD modeling systems. So we're not figuring any of this out as we go, or roughly chopping or cutting or manufacturing things during the conversion process. All of this, both these instances and the E20 for the morrisminor, are all built into our fabrication systems and can just be sent off to our fabricators. They give us a timeline of somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks to get the pieces cut, folded, tacked together and then welded and then painted as well. And they arrive to us exactly like this, ready for our team to get stuck into assembling those systems as we move forwards. So our ability to provide is light years ahead, and it's quicker than anyone else in the industry to be able to give the finished product of an electric conversion to an industry specialist or a garage or somebody who's wanting to start up some electrification partnerships, is that we don't then have to go to a section of back and forth of figuring something out. These are delivered on a pallet, ready to go. So our fabrication kits like this one for the Porsche 911 are intentionally designed to obviously fit the vehicle, but to be packaged and shipped logistically really simply. So if you were to order kits for your business, then they will arrive kind of palletized and ready to be installed in as simple a way as possible. So it's combining the safety of shipping, but also with the efficiency of being able to just kind of take the box off the sides of it and get it into the vehicle as quickly as possible. You'll also be provided with full wiring looms and all the different connections that you might want to go with your conversion kit. Most of the components need to be part of it, so you will have to use Orion BMS systems, you'll have to use TC charger and DC-DC systems, and other systems that go with it as well, but there may be some customizability in terms of gear selections and throttle pedals and dash systems as well, which we can either provide directly what we normally do in our vehicles, or you can talk to us about what you specifically need to use. But they should all come on a pallet ready for you to install as quickly as possible. It's been a priority when building them, and obviously we've done that to try and speed up our own internal process to be able to get vehicles converted quicker for customers. But that then maps over into then building these into kits for trade and other garages as well. The aftercare as well is also incredibly important. So we are, by our nature, we are a customer facing team. So we're not a back of house or a B2B type industry where we're only dealing with huge organizations with huge budgets. We've been built by dealing with customers face to face. So we know what it takes to have good customer service and to know what expectations are from customers and to set really good expectations when it comes to aftercare and what comes off the back of that. So what you'll receive is obviously dedicated aftercare support, so through phone, telephone support, video support, and on-site support if required. Then there's also sections where if extra training is needed, if you'd like members of your staff to be trained in some of the high voltage areas just for safety, that's also something that we can facilitate. And we can also take care of larger groups of training where an individual will visit your premises to train several members of your staff in some of the core sections of how to do the electric conversions. Systems also come with full manuals and also full aftercare support, and they come with kind of the fusing diagrams and relay diagrams as well for self-diagnosis. So if there are smaller issues that are happening on site, that it leaves you with more reliability on you and your team to be able to sort anything, just like any other car garage would be able to do as well. We are offering trade, shipping and logistics, not just within the UK, but also throughout Europe and across the world. So if you're interested in talking about logistics, then we have all of that lined up depending on where you are, and we are confident that we can sort out the best solution to get packages to you, not just efficiently, but also then enable you to get on with the conversion as quickly as possible. So if trade solutions are something that you or your business are looking for, then I encourage you to get in touch. We have the best method is through our website. So if you go to edubconversions.co.uk/trade, that will take you to a dedicated page that will go over loads of the things that we've been discussing in this video. It'll link you to other articles and other documents that will help you give more information to you and your team. And also there's a form on there where you can put down your goals for your project, what stage you're at. Are you just thinking about it right now, or are you ready to get moving? Put all that into the form and someone will be back in touch with you really, really quickly. Thanks again for watching. If you've enjoyed it, then why not like the video and subscribe to our channel for more updates about electric classic car conversions. And also, if you maybe know somebody else in the industry who might be interested in this kind of venture, then why not share this video to them and let them know about the options that are available to them. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.